to run into I'll show you some examples and some different use cases. I'll give you some famous ones. So one of the most famous ones was Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter. He minted the very first tweet ever, which he tweeted in 2006, and that sold for $2.9 million. He donated all the funds to charity, but wow, could you imagine like a tweet, you make an NFT and it sells for 2.9 million? It's unbelievable. Another artist called Beeple created an artwork collage NFT of all of his artwork that he's done throughout his career. You can see that little collage over there, and that sold for $69 million. Third is the NBA Top Shots, which is sort of a collection, various iconic and famous moments from the NBA that were caught on film, and people turn them into an NFT collection. And they have different tiers. They go from anywhere from $1,000 to tens of thousands, $20,000, $30,000. And I'm sure some of them go for even more. But those are some famous examples of different NFTs. And other use cases in NFT are in video games. So for example, they are creating video games based around this NFT concept, where you can actually have ownership of the in-game assets. One example is a group called Crypto Kitties, where you can create and sell digital cats. So there's that. And then another looks like a card game called Gods Unchained, where you can actually have complete ownership of the in-game items. If you've ever been a video game player, that's actually a pretty cool concept. And most famously is Decentraland, where it's almost like a complete world. And players can actually buy parcels of digital land that can be resold or used for advertising. And we're going to learn more about that when we get into metaverse, which is, I think, tomorrow. But so these are just some of the examples where the main point is about how NFTs are allowing users to become more owners. So incorporating this concept of digital ownership into video games now too. It's very fascinating. And another use case is club membership. So the probably most famous example of all time is the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They are, I think, not even a year old, and the creators used a software to generate 10,000 of these sort of variations of these digital apes, right? And they called the Bored Ape. There's more than 10,000 of them, and even 10,000 other variations, but they're all NFTs. And if you own one, you not only are, the NFT itself is sort of like a membership pass that allows you into their quote unquote yacht club. And the cool thing about it is that when you own the NFT, you actually own the brand. So for example, if let's say you own this, a sailor Bored Ape, and you have let's say a sneaker business or something, or a notebook business, you can take that and you can actually use that in your products or services. And people are actually doing that. So, and one other benefit of this is that it actually gives you access to a network that you wouldn't normally have access to. So some famous members of the BAYC are Eminem, Steph Curry from the NBA, and Jimmy Fallon, and there's even more. So there's more than 10,000 variations, but the cheapest one is currently worth 53 Ethereum. That's $218,000. So it's a very exclusive club. If you were fortunate enough to get in when it first started, then you're very wealthy now. But yeah, so it's being used as well to kind of foster membership into exclusive clubs, networking, and other kind of cool opportunities like that. So there's a really cool video on YouTube that someone really talks in depth about this. It's actually pretty fascinating. Definitely check it out if you can. So, and then one other use case is in financial services. This is really common. When we talked about DeFi, we talked about how you don't need any sort of identification or proof of trust, but you just need collateral. You have to put up some kind of collateral. So in this case, you can use, if you have an NFT and it's worth something, then you can put that up as collateral if you want to take out a loan on something. Another use case is in insurance contracts. So you take out an insurance contract, and then your contract is minted as an NFT. So it's all there in the contract, reduces a lot of cases of fraud. And interestingly, your contract, which you are the owner of now, can then be traded even on secondary markets. Let's say you don't want that insurance anymore, then you can just kind of get rid of it. Or if you find an insurance thing that you like, you can buy it. And then liquidity mining is something I think that's a little bit newer. And this is, again, like they have in DeFi, they have a lot of like liquidity pools where people will just kind of pool capital together and start earning interest. And so in some cases, you can actually get rewarded for that. Like this company Rarible, which is a digital marketplace, they will sometimes pay their users in their Rari tokens just for them creating, buying, and selling NFTs on their platform. So these are like just a bunch of different uses for this NFT technology. Before I get into like talking about the implications and wrap up, I just want to see if anybody's has any questions or thoughts at all so far. All right. And then so finally, like just something to think about is the implications for the future. And we're already starting to see this, which is, the shift into Web 3.0, which is internet ownership. So, imagine like, owning your PDF files or your music, your artwork, documents, important documents, or like we saw with Decentraland, digital real estate, and much, much, much more. So, the internet has always been decentralized, but we never had ownership of it. However, with this NFT concept, we can actually now start to have real ownership of assets on the internet. And so this is a tremendous concept, even like relating to like what we do in tax. Some of the big four accounting firms are actually buying up real estate in I think it's Decentraland, so that they can, because they believe that it's the future. So we're going to talk more in detail about that with the metaverse, which we're gonna talk about metaverse tomorrow. That's super cool if you haven't started looking in that yet. But yeah. All right, so that's everything for today. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you.